Okay, it's cloudy today and really cold. For the audio test today, I'm going to try something different because at times I'm wondering, for example, why does this sound so clear now? Sometimes it sounds muffled and all that. The two things I'm going to try is one, both of these mics are actually in manual mode at the moment, so I don't have that auto gain assist to help me stop things from peaking and all that. And at the same time, I removed the wind protection from both of these mics because I think that's a factor actually. The very first day when I did it with the lab and so forth, or with the regular mics, I had the wind protection on. So let's see how that works out. And what did I read today? It seems like the theme was about law enforcement. How about this? First one, you heard of things like police wanting to use drones more in their operations. This one, it says here, drone assisted in arrest of repeat shoplifter. That is a huge deal in a lot of places too, with the retail theft growing increasingly larger and larger. Is it just because there's not enough law enforcement? So would you be okay with this? This one says, Montgomery County Police say that a recently deployed drone helped apprehend a repeat shoplifter in Silver Spring. MCPD's drone as first responder program introduced an unmanned aircraft with the call sign Raven to provide critical support to the department and better serve the residents of the county, according to a press release. Raven played a role in the recent capture of a 31-year-old repeat shoplifter who had been stealing from the CVS pharmacy in the 9500 block of Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring on multiple occasions. In each case, the unnamed male suspect left the store before patrol officers responded. So that's, I guess, a situation where the eye in the sky would help. In the most recent incident on November 15th, the 3rd District officers were called to the Georgia Avenue CVS at approximately 12:33 p.m. The suspect left the store before the officers arrived. However, Raven was deployed and saw the suspect leaving the store area and boarding a Metro bus. The drone tracked the bus, providing the officers with its location. Imagine that, actually following them, I guess, through the traffic and all that too. Officers stopped the Metro bus at the intersection of Georgia Avenue and Colesville Road around 12:50 p.m. and took the individual into custody. Charges are pending for the November 15 case, and the investigation into previous shoplifting cases is ongoing, MCPD said. So that's kind of expected in the future. They use it for law enforcement and all that. Some places, as you remember, they want drones on the roof of buildings, so when there's some kind of situation, they can call it out, I suppose. Would you be okay with this? Again, it's one of those topics. I guess it's perfectly okay to fly a drone around, let's just say, a busy city and all that all of a sudden, huh? When it comes to officials. And again, it seems like for some reason, the news about police incidents have been going around today, specifically for some reason. How about this one here? That's actually local. Apparently there was this tractor going in the highway, and look at that, what this person captured. The police, it seems like they, I guess, took it out and it just flips on the highway. That's crazy. To my understanding, they were doing some kind of protest or potentially going to a protest, and there might be technicalities where it's illegal to drive this stuff in the actual highway, to my understanding. But can you believe that? How would you react if you saw this, I guess, while you're driving to wherever you're going for the day? Crazy footage. And then the other thing I read dealt, again, I guess, with police officers, and in this case, retail theft. It says here, video of a retail theft arrest at 95th and Ashland. The subject resists police and takes off running. Patrick Johnson Henry, 32, was taken into custody on the 9400 block of S. Justine and was charged with 4 counts of resisting police, 1 count of possession of a replica firearm, 1 count of retail theft. So why this is generating a lot of controversy is you can see how many officers there were on this one person, and they couldn't, I guess, stop him, I guess, from running away. And the criticism was the fact that these, I guess, officers here, they're saying they looked overweight, they're unfit to actually handle the guy. Or is this just a case, for example, where when the suspect is just so much stronger, there's nothing you can do? Or on the other end, people are saying there's no quality, I guess, standards in terms of how fit you have to be or something like that. Like when you're a police officer, in this case, that's what some people are arguing. It kind of reminds me of a video here that went viral where there was someone being crazy, for example. I believe it was on the beach side. And in that case, it was a female officer actually going up to the person, I guess, trying to stop him. But the guy's just so much bigger, and he just like shoves her like crazy. And people were saying, well, that's an example why you need, I guess, like people of a certain size, a certain strength, fitness level, whatever you want to say, in various situations. Like you can't just use anyone in various scenarios. So I don't know, like in this case, what would you think? Is it just one of those situations where you don't know, like the suspect, for example, they could be big, they could be small, or would you view it from that perspective of there has to be like a better standard in terms of people needing to be trained, for example, how to, I guess, take someone out or take them down in a safe way, even though they're bigger than you have to have a certain level of fitness. What would you think in that case? Okay, so that's the test so far, just from reading what's going on today. I'm just looking at the levels and stuff like that. It's actually going to the yellow area. That means it seems like it's peaking a little bit, but I'm just kind of curious what the sound quality is like. And for a test sake right now, I'm talking, and usually I'd have this over the lav mic. That's how I've been testing it. So I'm talking, and I'm gonna put this in here. Testing 1, 2, 3. It's cloudy today. Oh, go inside. I need my both hands here. There we go. Does that sound like it changed the sound at all? Does it still sound, for example, clear or too loud? Did it kill the volume a little bit? This is supposed to, for example, get rid of things a little bit anyways, like the wind and all that. And for the ambient sound, I've been using this, which is basically supposed to stop the wind. I'm thinking it might work too well during various times, so I'm just trying to think right now. I guess I'll try to find various spots that's noisy or quiet to see if it changes the quality. But let's try it here first since it's not too noisy. I actually turned the lav mic off during that time too, so that'll be an interesting test when I get back. How did it sound to you? I'm going to try to find a noisier place too to actually test that out with, for example, the windscreen without, and at the same time, I guess with this manual mode. That's really the only way I can think of to control a really loud situation, is to have both of these in manual mode, because that auto gain feature actually is fantastic to control the voice. It really levels out, for example, the sound. Unfortunately, if I'm doing like in the SkyTrain where one isn't in the automatic mode, it's just recording everything, then realistically that's going to overpower whatever the other mic is doing in a very controlled way. And you can see the conflict there, where if you're controlling the quote ambient noise, then it's not going to be as loud or as vibrant, for example. So you kind of have to find the balance where in this case, it's either both of them on automatic to get consistent sound where you can hear the voice and all that with a little bit of the background, or you put them both in manual mode. Thank you very much for everyone that's giving me comments and stuff too, in terms of how it's sounding and all that. This is actually great test and practice for the actual, I guess, day when I have to use this for some recording for a project and all that. At the same time, it's actually really fun to learn about this because it's almost like a new skill, honestly. I'm just reading so much about audio, trying to find the right levels, because as people say, sound is over 50% of the experience when it comes to things like video and stuff. Okay, so what I thought would be an interesting test right now is both of these are on manual mode, exactly the same thing what I had it on as I was reading what was going on in the news, and here there's more traffic and everything. With the mics, I have, for example, the wind covers on. So let's just see how that affects the sound overall while I'm talking. Again, both of them are on manual mode. Here we go. Because I'm thinking sound-wise, it'll be very similar from the Black Friday in terms of the ambient sound, but in terms of my voice, it might sound significantly different. One thing's for sure too, in terms of sound quality, this thing completely kills the mic on the action camera, for example, and the one in the smartphone. That's no question. The only question is, what is the best setting to put everything at, and the actual placements of the mics themselves. Okay, here I'm thinking when I cross the street, since there's a lot of traffic here with the sound effects, I'm actually gonna take off the wind cover on the one capturing the ambient sound. Because again, I'm kind of curious how much it actually affects the sound, because maybe it's doing too good of a job in blocking a wind, and that's a risk. When I take it out, maybe I'll start hearing a lot of wind. So here we go. And it is off. Can you hear any difference? And this is a really quiet setting. Another test for this is, since it's manual, how's my voice right now? I actually have it kind of semi-hidden inside the jacket, because this would be more appropriate if I was to, again, use this as a lav mic. And as I'm talking in the long term, imagine different scenarios like when it's raining and so forth. I think some people don't consider, for example, how much I have to actually hold like during the time to record. The camera, the phone, so I know what I'm reading, the umbrella itself. That's a lot to do, so this will make life easier if it works out that way. Actually, when I thought of removing the windscreen with the ambient mic right now, why don't, as a test, I remove the actual cover for the lav mic. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. It is off. So I'm just talking right now to see kind of what it's like. Again, there's risks where the wind is gonna start hitting at it, but I think it should be okay because my face is literally like covering it, like my whole head, unless it gets really windy. But I'm just fascinated to see what it sounds like without it, and with the fact that it's on manual mode at the moment. Okay, so with the cover off on the lav mic and the fact that it's on manual, what I'm gonna do right now, actually, since I haven't tried this, I'm going to mute the mic that's actually capturing the ambient sound to kind of see how it's like. So let's do this right here. Okay, so the mic that's capturing the ambient noise is going to be muted in 3, 2, 1. How does that sound so far? All the sound is coming right now from the lav mic. Oh, and the light just changes, huh? Now I'm not going to hear as many car sound effects when I'm talking, but I guess that's a good test actually. How is it capturing my voice and both the ambient voice at the moment? People talk about rules and regulations. Clearly those people did not care about the traffic light. You can see how common it is. Are you gonna say, for example, because there's people like that, oh, now we need over-the-top regulations for pedestrians. License and registrations to walk outside now, huh? Actually, yesterday I was amazed when it actually captured the sound for the beaver. I'd be more amazed if it captured the sound of those two walking, because I'm pretty far away, but this mic seems pretty powerful when you set it in manual and all that as well. Like with that guy running with all the footsteps and all that, I'd be fascinated to hear how that actually sounds once I get home at the end of the day.
That you have to call CSR, yeah. Sorry about that. Thank you.
What's the CSR? Something related to car tickets per se? All right, see you guys later.